Welcome to Day AI, where we focus on the happenings on this date, historically, globally, and nationally. If you would, please hit the like and subscribe button for future notifications and updates. April 9th is not a quiet date in history. It is a hinge point, a day where outcomes harden, where conflicts resolve or erupt, and where the direction of entire nations shifts, sometimes in a matter of hours. We begin in the deeper past, where power was measured in crowns, cavalry, and survival. On April 9, 1413, Enter-People, Henry Fife, King of England Henry Fife, in English identity through war and consolidation of power. Centuries earlier, in 1241, the Mongol Empire demonstrated its overwhelming force at the Battle of Liegnitz, exposing the fragility of European defences. These early events show a recurring pattern. April 9th is often a day where dominance is asserted and illusions of stability collapse. As time moved forward, April 9th became a marker of expansion and transformation. In 1682, Enter-People, René Robert Cavelier, Cicero Cavalier, Sieur de la Salle, claiming vast territory for France. This moment quietly set into motion future conflicts that would shape North America and eventually the United States. Then comes one of the most defining April 9s in American history. In 1865, at Entity Point of Interest, Appomattox Courthouse, Robert E. Lee S. Grant, Unio Ulysses S. Grant à l'Event. American Civil War T was the closing of a national wound that had torn the country apart. The United States survived, but it emerged changed, forced to confront the meaning of unity, freedom, and identity. April 9th continues to carry that weight into the 20th century, particularly during times of global conflict. In 1940, Nazi Germany launched its invasion of Denmark and Norway during Entity historical event, World War II. World War II posed with strategic force. Just 2 years later, in 1942, US and Filipino troops surrendered on the Bataan Peninsula, leading to the infamous Bataan Death March, one of the most brutal episodes of the war. Even as the world approached victory in 1945, April 9th marked tragedy. Enter-People, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, executed just days before the end of the war in Europe. His death stands as a reminder that truth and resistance often come at the highest cost. But April 9th is not only about war, it is also about change, resistance, and progress. In 1952, Bolivia underwent a national revolution that restructured its government and expanded rights to its people. In 1959, the United States introduced the Mercury 7 astronauts, signaling humanity's shift from terrestrial conflict to space exploration. Culturally and socially, the date continues to carry meaning. On April 9, 1968, the funeral of Enter-People, Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. also highlighting how far it still had to go. In 1970, Entity music group The Beatles, Brit the Beatles' cultural era that had reshaped music and identity across the world. In more recent history, April 9th, 2003 saw the fall of Baghdad during the Iraq War, symbolized by the toppling of Saddam Hussein's statue. Like many April 9th events, it was a moment that seemed definitive, but whose consequences would unfold in complicated and lasting ways. When viewed together, the pattern becomes clear. April 9th is a day of endings and beginnings. Wars conclude, regimes fall, movements shift, and humanity takes steps, sometimes forward, sometimes uncertain, into what comes next. It is a date that forces reflection, not just on what happened, but on what those events meant, and what they continue to shape. Thank you for watching or listening. This Day AI presentation for April 9th. This one was loaded. A lot has happened in these 24 hours going back in history. Let us reflect on the past, be aware of the present, and shape our very future, if it is possible. We will do it here at Day AI. See you at a later date.